What is up, guys? This is Triple. Welcome back to another Fortnite tutorial. In today's video, we're going to be going over exactly what Epic Games changed in the version 4.3 update that released just a few days ago. So with the release of this update, a lot of people are confused about what happened to the sensitivity. A lot of people are complaining that their sensitivity is completely ruined. In this video, I'm going to just clear up all the miscommunication. I'm going to go in depth on exactly what has been changed. So if you don't know who I am real quick, I am a console Fortnite player. I do a bunch of Fortnite tip videos, and so if you're into that kind of stuff, a like would be much appreciated if you find this video helpful, because it really does help me out. And guys, the tips that I give on this channel are not basic by any means. They're things that I find in the game myself, and that I have extensive experience with, and so that I know that work. So, what they did in the update exactly. The first thing I want to do is read the patch notes so that we can know exactly what they said verbally that they changed. So here we go. Fixed issues while aiming diagonally when using a controller. So guys, if you don't know, diagonal aim is actually slower than your horizontal x-axis and vertical y-axis. So basically, if you guys need more clarification on this, I have a video already laid out that goes over exactly what this is, why you should be aiming diagonal, because especially on high sensitivity, it basically allows you to aim more accurately. So, if you haven't seen that video, it's going to be linked right now in the top right, so make sure you click on that because you need to know what's going on, basically to understand this video. Now moving on, they say that the stick input was not correctly translating into camera rotation, causing the camera to never reach its maximum turn rate when aiming diagonally. So what does this mean? Basically, guys, let me break this down, and I apologize now, this video is going to be complicated. I'm just going to make it as simple as I possibly can. So, if we have let's set our x-axis as 10. So that x is going to be horizontal. Your y-axis is going to be 9. So what this means, what this is saying, is that the diagonal, it logically should be 9.5 at a 45-degree angle, right? So if this is 9.5, if I start at the y-axis, the further I go down to the x-axis, the faster my sensitivity should be going if my y is lower than my x. In our example, it is, because the y is 9, the x is 10. So as you go down, you'll start at 9, then you'll go to 9.1, 9.2, 9.3, you keep going down until you reach 10. Now, with the issue, what the glitch was that they patched was that starting, let's say this is 0, our reticle is 0. When you aim this way, you're not instantly going 9.5. You're going from 0 to 9.5. So first you're at 0, then you're at, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, and as you go faster, it keeps getting faster, right? So basically, it was stopping earlier than it should be. And so essentially, if you're on 9:10, it was stopping, in my experience, I can't confirm this number 100%, but I do know that this is what feels correct. I think that between 9 and 10, it was at 8 sensitivity, 8 or 8.5. It was stopping there and not reaching 9.5. So at 9:10, or at 10:9, I'm sorry, x is 10, y is 9. It was basically stopping at 8.5. It was not reaching 9.5. So the difference there is 1 sensitivity. So that's the issue that they fixed. Now instead of stopping at 8.5 early, it's going to actually reach 9.5, which is the logical thing that it should do. Now moving on, in the patch notes, it says that camera input curves have also been slightly tuned to account for the change in diagonal aiming speeds. So what this is saying is that now, basically, the entire sensitivity platform has been altered to match what they changed with the sensitivity. So basically, the sensitivity is going to feel completely different. It's going to feel more jittery, it's going to feel faster, and this is not completely a bad thing, but it is a bad thing initially because a lot of people are going to have no idea how to aim. Myself included, right whenever I started, I was completely confused, right? So one thing I do want to show you guys real quick is how exactly I came up with this little, beautiful chart that I have here, right? Basically, if you take your X sensitivity, make it really fast, and then take your Y sensitivity and make it really slow, what this does is it allows you to see this diagram in-game. So you have your 10 sensitivity really fast on the X, but going up and down, it's very slow on the 4. Well, if I'm starting at the Y-axis, as I start going more outward and more down towards the 10, it starts getting really, really fast. So let's say right here it's 4, then right here it's probably like 5, 6, and it just keeps getting faster until you reach 10. So now going back to our 10:9 example, what the update did exactly was, instead of, basically before, you have your X at 10, now Y at 9, what it was doing before is it was stopping at 8.5. It was not reaching 9.5, therefore appearing to be slower, and it was a glitch. Now it's going right to 9.5, even faster than it was before, and so now it's just really fast, and that's why your diagonal feels so much faster than it was prior to this update. Like I was saying before, prior to this update, I was on 10.9, right? And so what that felt like on my diagonal, because of the glitch, it was stopping at 8.5 rather than reaching 9.5. So I prefer on my diagonal 8.5. That's what my sensitivity is used to. So basically the way to get that 8.5 is to use logic. In between 9 and 8, that's where you can get 8.5. So what I recommend for everyone watching this video, if your aim feels completely messed up, whatever your sensitivity was last prior to this update, make it 1 less. So if I was on 10.9 before this update. So now I'm going to go to 9 on the X and 8 on the Y. I just lowered both sensitivities by 1. Also, if you don't know, these in-betweens don't mean anything. All that matters is the numbers. I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but there you go. Now guys, one thing I did forget to mention last match is that I cannot guarantee you perfection. This is not going to match your sensitivity perfectly like you had before, but it is going to match very close your diagonal sensitivity, and that's going to help your aim because that's where you should be aiming in the first place, especially if you're on a high sensitivity. Now, if you're worried about lowering your sensitivity and you're worried about your building speed going to be lowered, I can say that my building speed, I was on 10.9 and then now I'm on 9.8. My building speed is not affected too much. It's a tad bit slower, I believe, but it's not drastic. It's still very fast, at least in my terms, it's still very fast and still very effective. So I would not worry about your build speed that much in your decision of lowering your sensitivity. Just to show you guys what my building looks like nowadays, I'm going to go ahead and engage these people and see if I can do that for you. Ooh. Where are you at? Well, there's that. So as you can see, my building was not terribly slow, right? I can still basically get the essentials down. It's not, I don't think it's affected too much, right? It's a tad bit slower, but not by that much. And if you find that your sensitivity is perfectly fine as is, then by all means stay on your normal sensitivity, because it is going to be faster. I can tell you it's going to be faster, but it is going to be more effective, obviously. If you can control a faster sensitivity, more power to you, right? Your building's going to be more effective, and that's all good. But if you are struggling with your sensitivity, then this is the way to do it. Lower your sensitivity by 1 on both the X and the Y, and that should do the trick. And for those that are curious, I'm going to go ahead and play some clips that I've gotten on my new sensitivity just so that you can see I have not been affected too much by this update. I was initially for sure, but there are simple steps like lowering your sensitivity by 1 that will get you closer to what you were before. So yeah, I just want to show you guys that it is doable, and so yeah, here we go. And one last thing I do want to mention before I let you guys go is some of those clips were actually on 10.9. I'm already to the point, I'm used to 9.8. I've already played so much that I am getting to the point where I am going to be upping my sensitivity once more. Basically what I'm trying to say is, guys, we're going to be going back to our old sensitivities. We're actually only going slower because it just feels so sudden right now. And that's just not good, right? Ooh, that was really dirty. And yeah, so basically we're going to be going back to our old sensitivities. We just need to get used to this new sensitivity. It's such a sudden change, it makes everything seem so much faster, but once we get used to it, I guarantee you people are going to be switching right back to their old sensitivity and getting used to the new diagonal speeds. And with that said, guys, that's basically it. I hope you did enjoy today's video, and if you did, a like would be much appreciated. It seriously helps me out. You guys have no idea how much it helps me out, and I really appreciate every like that I get. I appreciate all of you guys who spend time to interact with my content. Hit me up in the comments. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comment section. Hit me up on Twitter. My Twitter is @triple_YT. I'll definitely respond there. And yeah, with that said, thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it, and have a nice day. Peace.